What's up, everybody? It's Dre, and today I got a special treat. Yep, special treat for you. Today we're gonna do some editing, and I'm gonna show you a little editing trick that I do to all my photographs. Well, maybe about 98% of my photographs, and I really think it helps. It's a very subtle treatment. A lot of people use this and over-exaggerate. It's not me, so let's just get right to it. I have a picture up here on the screen. Let's go edit. Okay, I'm here in Lightroom with the picture of the hot dog dude, man. The hot dog dude. Look at those yummy hot dogs, man. I love that. Love it. I didn't even taste it, but it's good. Yo, so I got a picture of this hot dog dude. I got it during Louisville Smiles. And what I normally do to all my photographs happens to be at the bottom of Lightroom on the right-hand side. And that's post-crop vignetting. Now, a lot of people overdo it. You know, they bring it like this, and you know, they kind of got the midpoint. I should say the feather. Let me get the feather. You know, that's like really exaggeration, but it's something like that. And you can see it in every single photograph, and I don't like it. You know, I don't really push it this hard, but I do use it almost in every photograph, and I use it ever so slightly. So let's go ahead and make it where you can absolutely see it. So let me get the feather kind of going away. There we kind of go. Get some roundness like that, right? And then we kind of move that midpoint. So let's say I'm going to use it like this. Now, why I think this is so important is that the light, the eyes follow light, you know, and the center of the photograph is my subject. Most of the pictures that you take, something is going on in the center, at least me. I do a lot of portraits, and light, your eyes follow light. And if there's light on the edge of the photograph, your eyes can kind of veer off to the edge of the photograph and kind of not zoom in on the subject. So that's why we want dark corners. That's why a lot of people do this, because it takes your focus and puts it dead smack in the middle of the photograph. And I like that. So, but I don't like it this hard. So I use it ever so slightly where you can barely see it. Well, first, here, let me show you this. There it is. First, I feather the hell out of it. We don't want no hard edges like that. That looks stupid. It was like a TV program. So anyway, you kind of slide it. You know, I get my feather where, see how that feather is so feathered, you can't even really see it. And then even then, I kind of bring it down. I bring down that intensity. I'm usually somewhere around 17, 16, somewhere like that. See, now I have it there. You can barely see it, but my edges are darker, causing you to focus in the center of the photograph. Focus on the subject. See, now watch the look. Now, hopefully you can see it. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and change the thing. Make it high def so you can see this. All right, the little gear on the bottom. Make your screen high def, and I'm going to turn this off, and boom. See, you can see it. You can see on, off, on, off. Look at the corner over here. Look at that left corner. That's where you can see it really good. So it's off, and there it's on. So people can barely see it, and what it really does is really allows you to focus to the center of the photograph. And I do that almost on all of my images. I don't want my eyes or your eyes veering off to the edge where there's nothing there. You know, we wanted to concentrate there. Now, sometimes this doesn't apply to everything. This is not a set it all, be all, forget it, set it and forget it. No, it's not one of those. It depends on where your subject, it depends on what's going on in your image. And since I do a lot of portraits, this is kind of what I do most of the time. So you might not want to do it on landscapes, you know, unless you kind of focus in on a bird sitting on a tree or a tiger or something like that. You know, that might be cool. But anyway, portraits. This is what I do. You can barely see it ever so slightly. It does make a difference. It does bring out that subject, brings out what you're trying to focus on, the subject, the dude. It brings out the hot dog dude. So anyway, for this picture, I think it works great, and it works great for 98% of the pictures. Just don't overdo it, man. I mean, a lot of people do this. I mean, you see it, right? I mean, it's like, that sucks. Okay. And it might look good for a photograph or two, but when you look at the whole portfolio, you start to see every single one like this. Now, sometimes I do bring the intensity up where you can see it, but that was on purpose. That was intentional. But the majority of the time, probably 99% of the time, you don't see it. So now when you start to look at my photos, or if you go to my website, check out my portfolio, you'll be able to say, hey, let me see that. Kind of looking in the corners, seeing if it's a little darker. Okay, now that's Lightroom. That's the Lightroom trick. I forgot, I want to show you Photoshop. So let's bring the same guy up in Photoshop because, oh, that was me. Photoshop, here we go. Okay, I got Photoshop open and I got the same dude right here in Photoshop. Let's go ahead and duplicate that layer. Now, I know there's multiple ways to do this, right? But the reason why you want to do it in Photoshop sometimes is because you don't want that symmetrical circle, that just the circle, because sometimes you want the dark areas, certain areas to be more dark than the others, or you don't want the circle to cut off the bottom or the top of the dude's head, right? So you have to manually kind of darken the corners. So a lot of times I just open up Photoshop, make a separate layer for this. I go ahead and select black as my color, and right here I bring my opacity down to like 10%, like that. And then I just kind of manually, well, that's kind of a little strong still. So let's bring it down to 7%. There we go. Anyway, and I manually just kind of, did I say manually? Yeah, manually just kind of brush the outlines of that, you know, the image like that. You know, so you can barely see it, you know, just concentrating on the center. Now this is a feathered brush, so I know it's kind of hitting his body a little bit, but that's cool. Because, you know, the focus or concentration, the focus is right here on his face and the hot dogs, especially if you're hungry. So anyway, there it is. I kind of put a quick post vignette on, and then go ahead and turn it off. You can see it, see that? Turn it on. You can kind of see it right there. Turn it off, you see it go away. And anyway, that's what I do in all my images. I feather it hard because you don't want that hard curves. You don't want people to see it. It's kind of that subtle effect that actually works. You know, it makes you focus to the center of your photograph. Well, anyway, that's the tip. Hot dog dude, we did it in Photoshop and we did it in Lightroom. Well, anyway, there you have it. There you have my secret editing tip that I think can help all your photographs. You can kind of do what I do or whatever. You know, that, and by the way, that's my style. This is not, there's no right or wrong on how you edit. It's just the way I do it. It's the way I like it. And you do have to do the way you like it. But check out the way I like it, because you might like it and put it in your own repertoire of editing, your own little things. All right, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this in the comments below. This is my first editing video. Kind of let some of that secret sauce out. Kind of see what I do. Well, anyway, the hot dog dude. He came from Louisville Smiles. You want to see more about Louisville Smiles, kind of what I'm doing with that? Check that video out right there to the left. And thanks for watching again. Please subscribe, because when I make my next video, how you gonna know about it? Thanks. Please subscribe. Please like, comment, share. And thanks for watching. My name is Dre, EMIP TV. Out.